Good afternoon, parents and all of our listeners. Here is a brief history of special education. Before 1970, children with special needs were not in regular schools. They were excluded from public schools or they were taught in special classes. Even though some were able to attend special schools, they did not receive proper education that was appropriate to their needs. So students were completely deaf or had moderate intellectual difficulties, where the students who could not be placed in regular classrooms, they were the ones who were sent to separate schools. In the 1930s and the 1940s, parent groups were formed. Some of well-known groups were called the National Association for Retarded Citizens, organized in 1950, and Association for Children with Learning Disability, organized in 1963. Of course, we owe it all to our parents. Versus Commonwealth of Pennsylvania ruling, the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania sided in favor of students with intellectual and learning disabilities in state-run institutions. And then also, the PARC versus Penn called the students with disability to be placed in publicly funded school settings that met the individual's educational needs based on proper and thorough evaluations. In 1975, Education for All Handicapped Children Act, EHA, gave children the disability rights to an education. So between 1970 and 1980, students with mild disabilities were more frequently in regular classrooms. We moved down to 1975. November 29, 1975. President Ford signed an Education for All Handicapped Children Act, otherwise known as the Public Law, and this law required all states that accepted money from the federal government were required to provide equal access to education for children with disability. In 1975, students with disabilities are legally protected rights to attend public schools. But on August 6 of 1986, President Reagan signed the Handicapped Children's Protection Act, which was great. A law that gave parents of children with disability more say in the development of their child's individual education plan. Closer to 2000, which in 1990, the EAHCA was amended to include a change to person's first language, replacing the term handicapped student with students with disability. In 1990, also, Congress updated the title and language of law. It came to be known as the Individual with Disability Education Act, the IDEA. With that said, thank you for listening. Again, my name is Naisha Hutchison, and you have a good day.